Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 1 in a series between FXL's Lowly versus AT's Sage here on Antigua Shipyard. Game 1 in what I expect to be a long and good series. If it sounds like I've said these words recently, Lowly versus Sage on Antigua Shipyard, it's because I cast a game on this same exact map not too long ago. I think it was last week on the 2nd maybe, or the 1st. So we'll see what's going to happen here as the game does get underway. Sage spawning as the blue Protoss player at the 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Lowly spawning as the red Zerg here at what I will call the 11 o'clock position. Now, based upon the fact that I know that these players face each other rather often, they should have a really good feel for what the other player is going to be up to. Sage now opening up with that Forge Fast expansion, most likely on Antigua Shipyard. And Antigua Shipyard is one of those maps where Zerg players felt like it was a bad map, and then it feels like it's a good map, and now it feels like it's an okay map, as the game is much more macro-centric. Now, will Sage be going for a faster Nexus? That is the question there. Harvesting some minerals. Not exactly sure what Sage is doing, why he's doing the long distance mine. That doesn't make a lot of sense at all, as we're going to see that the probe now heads back over to the mineral patch here. Now you can see a lot of probes are queued up. That could mean a Forge Fast or a Nexus first. Meanwhile, we are seeing Lowly open up with a spawning pool first. This is going to be a very interesting build, as the pylon placement here is going to make it rather difficult to wall off before the Zerglings get in play. Now, no queen as of yet. Extractor now going down, and this indicates to me that we could have a Baneling bust of some sort. If it was Extractor pool, we could have faster metabolic boosted lings. We'll just have to wait and see what Lowly opens up with. Now a probe does make its way around. Lowly does have an Overlord here, and it is going to spot this pylon here up on the high ground as a Forge now comes into play. A Forge does take a little bit of time to complete, 45 seconds, as the second pylon now warping in as well. The Overlord of Lowly wants to check down over here and see when that Nexus was placed down. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are already coming down now, and now Sage is going to be able to grow up and be a hatchery here with this one particular drone. Now the Zerglings are going to catch this probe here. No, the Zerglings are simply going to run by, and now Lowly knows what exactly is going down. A photon cannon does need to be warped in here, and now we may see just a straight up gateway warped in here immediately. Normally, Protoss players will wait, but now there is that gateway. The wall in has been completed, and now there are probes right here. So this probe, is Sage can actually mineral path this probe? No, he does not. He can actually mineral path the lower hit point probes back. Yes, and there it goes. The lower hit point probe has been mineral path back. Pylons, another probe does get taken down. How many workers were killed? 2 workers were killed, but I think if he was just smart about it, he could highlight all of the probes right there, and then see whichever one was taking damage, click on it, and tell it to return cargo if it actually had minerals in its mouth. If it didn't, then it could just go ahead and just right click and click here, and it would have been able to slip through without any real effort whatsoever. A probe who is living dangerously, only 20 shields and 5 hit points sitting here. Meanwhile, we are going into more Zerglings, and the Baneling's nest is coming in. A Baneling bust could be coming in here momentarily. We can see a Zealot now being trained. And the power of a Baneling bust early on is that there are both Zerglings and Banelings. Banelings pretty effective against Zealots if they are grouped together. Meanwhile, Zerglings are very effective against Stalkers. The probes spot, yes, I believe the probes did spot all of those Banelings here. A second gateway now warping in addition to another pylon. And are they going to try to bust up here? That is the question. Sentry now trying to come in. And what is going on? The Baneling's going to try to just splash right there, take it down. Zerglings are now in. Photon cannon, a Baneling. Oh, is it going to get another detonation? Oh, so many probes were taken down there. The probes were not supposed to be there at all, as the Zerglings are now running rabid inside. 8 workers killed. harvester count is 20 to 21, so it is still fairly even as the sentry now needs to get in position and get some damage onto those units. Another zealot now coming in. Where are those probes looking to go as the zealot now tries to come over, and we could perhaps see a force field. Yes, all those zerglings are pretty much corralled in the right spot. Beautiful force field by Sage, but in comes a new baneling, and that baneling did get a lot of splash damage. It looks like the sentry will get taken down, and now it is 13 workers killed, 29 drones compared to 18. As this one zergling tries to come back in for a little bit more of a love tap there, it will get taken down. All right, Sage now needs to chrono boost out probes in a hurry and get back into this game. He has no idea what Lowely is doing though, and Lowely behind this has trained up a crazy number of drones, now sitting at 33 drones when he was just at 20 drones moments ago. 6 drones being trained at a time. You can see the third base of Lowely now being established. And at some point, Sage needs to move out with a couple of zealots, as we see here, and do that scouting. They are going to come across this one hatchery, quickly figure out that Lowely has transitioned into a macro game. And by transitioning into a macro game, we should see a harder focus onto workers. 2 probes now being trained at a time. Zealots are off over here. Zealots are doing a little bit of that dance, trying to get away, and now continuing to swipe at this hatchery. So far, the Zerglings are not going to be able to do very much. The Zealots are actually on the far side of the hatchery here. A very good positioning as the Zealots can turn around and then start focusing down some of those Zerglings. Oh, actually moving into a bad position there. They're going to get taken out, as the total losses still much higher for Sage at this point. 30 probes versus 37 drones, a new round of Zerglings, and the real explanation for that, as we are going into a second Baneling's Nest? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Not quite sure what to make of that at all. Zerglings now able to slip by. Oh my gosh, the sentry asleep at the wheel, unable to get off a force field. And Sage may just have to cut his losses and give the GG. No, a beautiful force field on the ramp there. Photon Cannon is joining in on the fight. The sentry does get taken down here as the probes are trying to fight back against so many Zerglings. The Zerglings are going to be able to get up inside the base momentarily, and there they go, catching a couple of probes in transit. So far, a new pylon now being warped in the back. Perhaps one Photon Cannon will be enough, but those Zerglings could turn into Banelings rather quickly, as a Zealot now going to town onto some of those Zerglings. The Zealot already getting up to 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, as it does have that level 1 weapons upgrade. Very important, and now 2 more Banelings coming in. Oh, this could be bad news. The Zealot now needs to make its way in. Knows perhaps there are Banelings already hatching in the work. Oh, where are they going to go? Is it going to catch one? Yes, it does catch one. The second Baneling is going to be able to slip away. No movement speed upgrade. The Stalkers, will they be able to get it? That is the question there. The Baneling does get in detonation off, but I only believe 1 or 2 probes were taken out there. Stalkers now with Warp Gate tech. That has been completed. No pylon or no building down over here, as Sage is somehow still holding on, but things are going to be going from bad to worse momentarily. 57 drones versus 44 probes. Worker count. Income tab shows about a 500 resource difference between these two teams so far. So 500 resources, that is about, what, 20 Zerglings a minute in terms of overall production, as we are also going into pathogen glands. Zerglings may be able to slip by. It looks like Lowely wants to take care of this game at the... Oh, this may actually be a big move by Sage. Sage may be actually able to move out. You can see that this one Zergling was on patrol and did not catch this fight go into play. You can see the probe is now going to perhaps try to slip out. There is a pylon now up here, and the Zerglings does spot this. So Sage, thinking that he's under cover or under protection, actually in a very bad location there. The Zerglings now trying to engage, but the Zealots are actually in a very beautiful position there. Only 1 or 2 Zealots are going to be lost, as the Stalkers are behind. And that was actually a beautiful engagement by Sage. Sage looking to perhaps, come out ahead, actually losing a little bit less than his opponent now, as a new proxy pylon is being established. Sage now trying to muster up a counterattack. We are going into a Dark Shrine and a Warp Prism. Whenever you're behind, go Dark Shrine. For, Protoss players, it seems, as we now see 86 over 92 compared to 114 over 128. Infestor is going to get off some fungal growths. That's going to be a very bad day. Chain fungal growths on sentries and chain fungal growths on any units. Very, very devastating. Banelings now looking to make their way in, but there are zealots on the wrong side, and those chain fungal growths may have done it. Banelings crashing their way through. Are they going to be able to finish this off? It appears so, and Sage pretty much doesn't stand much of a chance. Those infestors playing a huge comeback role. But now what is this? Dark Templars looking to come in on the far side. There is a warp prism here, and the Dark Templars may get picked up. Yes, they will. And what will be happening next? Another proxy pylon gonna get taken down. Queens, Blinks, Spore Crawlers now coming in as well. And here we go. Dark Templars should be dropped off here in just a moment. Where are they? There's the Dark Templars. And now Queen gonna get taken down. And now drones look to get taken down as well. It looks as though the Dark Templars actually dodged a fungal growth. Beautifully done there. And perhaps they can actually slice their way past some of those Zerglings. No, not able to, as double Spore Crawlers reveal them. We are now at 117 versus 77. Losses now higher for Sage. Production tab and income, or army tab, income tab really shows how ahead Lowely is, both in terms of minerals and in gas. Now going up onto 4 bases for Lowely. Meanwhile, there is still an Overlord spewing creep at what would normally be the 3rd base for Sage. And Sage now finally moving out with those Stalkers to try and take it down. Now, Sage at this point is not, it isn't all in done for Sage, but he has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to really do anything here. You can see a Spire and a Hive being built or being upgraded nearly simultaneously. That does indicate to me that Broodlords could be in the near future, as right as that Spire is done, the Hive will be completed for that greater Spire tech. Alright, Stalker's now blinking up onto the high ground, able to spot up there. Lowly is going to shoot down that Overlord and perhaps be able, or Sage is going to shoot down Lowly's Overlord. Meanwhile, Sage is looking to perhaps control the center here. Army compositions about even, but there's that fungal growth, and there's some force fields. Are the force fields going to be enough? Beautiful force fields again, and will they be actually able to engage and take down some of those Banelings? So far, this is a beautiful engagement by Sage, as the Banelings now able to finally crash through. The Stalkers are trying to blink back, and they are able to blink back, but still unable to completely mitigate all of that damage. And there is the GG by Sage. So Sage losing game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.